Hello, world. Daniel Rucker again, second episode. Welcome to the Hard Knock Lessons of Love. For those who are tuning in for the first time, this is my YouTube channel, my video blog, my platform, a place where I choose to express my views and my perspective on relationships, dating, and this thing, we call love. I hope you guys enjoyed the content from last week. The introduction to the show and the video that I, uploaded first lesson. That'll be coming to you once a week. And that's, what I'm going to choose to do from now on until the momentum builds and, I get more feedback from the audience. That's, you on the things you want to hear about. And then sometimes the things that I feel need to be addressed. So, with that said, this topic today, I actually received from a friend of mine who was, experiencing or is experiencing a situation of dating a man with kids. So that's the topic of today, dating a man with kids in 2013 and how to deal with it. And I'm going to share my perspective, maybe some tips and things that can be beneficial and help you, hopefully. Now, if you, like I said, been paying attention to the world as it is starting to transform, most people are dealing with having a kid earlier than usual. Back in the day, maybe 30, 40 years ago, you didn't have the epidemic we have now, but most people, especially if you're in your 20s, probably going to encounter someone with a kid, whether it's a family member, a friend, someone you're dating, so on and so forth, a coworker. Yes, children are a big part of today's society in the dating world. So, I'm here to share perspective on how to deal with it. Sorry, fellas, this time I'm not going to be chiming in on us dealing with, young ladies with children. I will save that for another episode to come. This episode is for the ladies. Hopefully I can help you. Anyway, let's get started. All right. This is the Hard Knock Lessons of Love, dating a man with kids. Here we go. Now, this is my perspective. This is my disclaimer before I jump in. I am not a doctor. I have not studied in any, kind of institution from an educational standpoint to formulate the thoughts and the logic I have. A lot of it is God-given. A lot of it is just, to me, common sense. Paying attention, doing opposite of what I see to be popular. And it seems to serve me quite well. So anyway, take it, chop it up, digest it, whatever you choose to do with it. But hopefully it helps you because that's what I'm here for in the first place. So anyway, ladies, dealing with a man with kids. All right. It could be a beautiful thing. It could also be a very traumatic thing. It is all on your perspective on how you see it. There are certain rules, certain things that I would say you want to look out for. But also a certain perspective and mindset that you want to exercise in order to be successful on dating a man with kids. Now, I got a few things I want to, throw out there so that you just know that this is probably what you will encounter with dealing with a man with kids. It's just a part of, the territory. Financial hardship is probably one of the biggest aspects of dealing with a man with kids. Depends on age. There's always variables, career choice, like I said, age, so on and so forth. But if you're dealing with a young man that has had children at an early age, there's a high chance, a high probability that he's probably not going to be in the best financial position as he would be if he didn't have children. Now, that's not to say that the children are preventing that, but they're, anybody that has nieces, nephews, anything like that, hopefully can understand that just basically having a child is expensive, for male or female, but in this case, for, a young man. So, and then, we throw out maybe possibility of child support, maybe present in his life. That's a whole nother beast. That's a whole nother freaking argument. And I will talk about that at another time. But financial hardship is probably going to be something that you're going to encounter. So dealing with a man with kids, you're going to have to be very flexible and open-minded, sensitive to understand that what may be in your mind easy may be difficult for him. So try to exercise some, sensitivity to understand that he just may not be there. He just may not have it. That doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. And you, as his woman in his life, his whatever, wherever you fall, you should be aiding assistance from even just a support base. Positive words, encouragement, ideas. Don't be that girl. Don't be that pain that adds to his already, somewhat complicated life. Try to be the softer side of Sears. Don't be the other, don't be that girl. So that's one thing. That's just to segue into, my next, tip. Try to be the support for promoting, his fatherly role. If you've been paying attention, it's very popular nowadays that, young men, they have children, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they raise children. And that doesn't mean that they stay. So if you encountered a young man that has, children, children, however, and he stepped up to the plate to, carry out his responsibility, support it. Don't look at it like it's a negative. Sometimes I encounter a lot of young ladies, they meet a guy and it's like, oh, he's great, he's good, he's this, but he has a kid or he has kids. Kids should not be looked at for one as a negative. If anything, it should be looked at as a positive because, you guys want kids. You live your lives around having children and having a family. And yes, it may be unfortunate the fact that you weren't able to, bring that life into the world together. But it is what it is. Like, look at it from a more positive standpoint. For the fact that you have a man that you're interested in that is even open and willing and, consistent with just wanting to raise his children, that's a positive, man. Give that mess a round of applause because it's 2013 and that's just not reality. A lot of mothers are doing this by themselves. So don't be a pain in the butt. Don't complain. Stop being selfish and look at it from a different perspective. Look at it broad. You got a man that is down for commitment and responsibility. And those are two things that you want if you're, wanting to pursue a relationship with this person. Another thing, try to focus on the needs of the child. Yes, I know that in the dating world, there's things that you like to do. Dates, outings, vacations, so on and so forth. The attention is big. You want to be the center of his world. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to burst your bubble. You're not going to be the center of his world. If this man has a child, you're not going to be the center of his world. And it would be vice versa if you had a child. It'd be the same thing. So I would tell a man the same thing that I'm telling the young ladies. You're not going to be the center of his world. So don't try to overshadow the already existing responsibility that is his life with his child. Be a part of it. Don't try to make it all about yourself. You do that, for one, you're selfish. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because would you want some man to do that to you? I'm sure you wouldn't. So try to flip it and look at it from, the reverse role. If it was you, how would you want it to be treated? And I'm sure you wouldn't want, him complaining and nagging and giving you crap about your life that you created, and the life that you have. You would want somebody to make it easier, not make it harder. So I feel like you should look at it, like I said, from a different perspective and try your best just to be a part of it. Enjoy it. You may like it. You may learn something. Who knows? On another note, don't associate every man's situation with one person's situation that you've encountered or a few people's situations you've encountered. And if that was confusing, I'll break it down and give you an example. Every guy that has a child does not necessarily have baby mama drama. Wash my hands. Baby mama drama. Not everybody has that. There are certain things, that you're going to encounter with dealing with someone with children, of course. Like phone calls at certain times of the night or unexpected interruptions. But if it's about the child, then, be sensitive. Like I said, back in what I said earlier, be the support. Like, don't be a pain in the butt complaining. When you have a child, that's a 24/7, 365-day job. It just never stops, whether the child is with you or not. And there are certain things, of course, men, that you may need to put in line, draw some boundaries. But overall, if it's for the need and the benefit of the child, you as the woman who is not the mother of the child, you need to try to exercise some sensitivity and not be selfish. Because that boils down to just being selfish, in my honest opinion. But a man that's handling his business, and I mean really handling his business, is not going to have drama. And what I mean by business is someone who is not having sex with this woman, telling her things that are going to give her false hope and trying to, give her facade of their future and all that. Those are usually the telltale signs of drama. But when a man has decided not to be with this woman and he's just, hey, they got a kid together, they got to deal with it, then there shouldn't be any drama, in my honest opinion. And if there is drama, then you need to ask the right questions to try to figure out what exactly is going on behind the scenes. But one thing that should dawn on you, and this requires logic, not emotion, if he had a kid with this woman and he's not with this woman, there's a reason why. So try to find that reason out. Focus on that. You'll probably find peace around that area. Sure, it'll help you, serve you well. Let me see what else. Yeah. It's not the picture perfect, situation. It's not what you may have envisioned as a little girl, meeting somebody that has a child, has child support or has responsibilities or so on and so forth. But one thing about life is that there's what you thought it was going to be and what it is. And sometimes you have to coast with what it is. Fantasy doesn't exist too much in this thing we call reality, and it definitely doesn't exist too much in this world of dating. So try to disassociate what you felt and, seen growing up, and then, get down to the real and deal with what's going on. If you found someone that you truly care about, that you get along and you see a future with, don't let something like a child deter you off of, happiness. My last and final thing will be, don't take on responsibilities that are not yours. You are not this child's mother, so you don't have to be. If you're dating this man or wherever you guys' relationship lie, that is your job. That's your situation. Don't allow him to put things on you that you're not comfortable with. That's just simple communication. If you don't want to pick up his child from daycare and so on and so forth, and you don't feel comfortable doing that, then state that. And then try to find a happy medium or whatever your feelings on it may be. But if you have not birthed this child, then it is not your automatic responsibility to be the mother. And don't assume that just because a child is in the situation, that you are eventually going to be that. That'll only take place if, future and marriage and all that stuff becomes reality. But until you guys get to that bridge, don't worry about trying to cross it. Just deal with the now. Focus on the now and try to enjoy it if it's benefiting you and it's making you somewhat happy. That's what I would have to say on this situation. If I missed anything, and there may be some more things you want to hear about, tune in, log in. I'm going to be here every week. I can be contacted at hardknocklessons@gmail.com. That's my personal email for my YouTube channel. Questions, comments, feedback, anything. Shoot me an email. I'll respond, quickly and take your suggestions. I'm open to it. I can also be found on facebook.com/rucker.love. That's my page. I'll be advertising when I'm going to upload, putting little quotes and excerpts and things like that as the weeks go on. I hope you're enjoying the content. I'm doing this for you guys. And, yeah. So subscribe. Tell your friends about me. I'm going to be here every week. This is Daniel Rucker, Hard Knock Lessons of Love, signing out. Good night.